Hello, and welcome to Generation Shadow, the epic. Can you cut their mic, please? I'm kidding.
It's all the same thing.
I know. No, I'm not speaking of this one.
If we go, you go.
I just want a lot of really low numbers in a row.
All right, well, get out of your system because
Get new dice.
hello and welcome to Generation Shadow.
I think actually bumping the camera was a bad thing because now the top of Marvin's head is cut off.
Okay, I did bump my foot.
Dang
so.
it.
Scooter, you need to go adjust
I
this
will
camera.
figure that out.
We'll take care of it.
Just
I'm going to keep going with the intro.
guys, I'll fix
Hello and welcome to Generation
bad.
Shadow.
it.
Sorry.
For a while, I'll fix it. Trust
We'll
me.
do it live.
Hello. As many. I'm going to say hello as many times as it takes. Down. Hello and welcome to
I'm in the
Generation.
frame now.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Are
he's
you good,
just-
Marvin? It's cool. No, we'll go again. Hello and welcome to Generation Shadow, the epic supernatural saga that takes you through the entirety of horror history, one nightmare at a time. Today's nightmare is the second episode of our second arc, set in Victorian London, 1888. Episode is entitled "The Dead Travel Fast." We're going to go to a fancy party. I'll do a quick recap. But first, let's meet some of our characters who will be entering old London town. So let's start with over here with Marvin. I want to know who you are, who your character is, what their vibe is, and how they're feeling as we go into our second episode and try and uncover the mystery of the Whitechapel Ripper.
Okay, I'm not slouching anymore. Good. So hi, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing the Spectre, Captain Diego Wensley. His vibe right now, he and his crew have not been able to feel anything for like the past 200 years. I mean, physically. Mentally, they're kind of screwed up. But recently, Dr. Jackal has been able to make some tea that we can actually drink and actually taste. So we're going to be hanging out with the Wild Faction, my crew and I. Who's
the
one?
Tuatha.
Yeah, the Tuatha. Since they've actually helped us with our situation.
Whoa, okay. No need to throw shade, buddy.
No offense.
No, all the offense was meant.
Nobody asked you to crash out in our flat, you know. Nobody did.
I sure as hell didn't.
Yes, I was.
A promise was made and a promise was not kept.
A promise is being worked on.
was a
Well, not
promise
fast
made.
enough, damn it.
I'm very confused. I just thought he was a squatter. So.
A very irritable spirit. After that, let's meet some of the other roommates of our supernatural flat situation with Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing Dame Roxanne Frost OBE, the Whitechapel Wolf. She is a werewolf. Every single night turns into a monster, so that's fun.
Yeah.
It hurts every time. On the other hand, we are going out to see my paramour tonight at a fancy ball.
Yes, well, we'll get to that.
Well, there might be mummies.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There most certainly will be mummies.
The mummy unwrapping party, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, sound the
Yes.
mummy alert.
But
The
I'm very
mummy
good
is
friends
gonna
with
be
the
there.
Zord. Our families go way, way back.
Yeah,
To
that's
the
right,
French
yeah.
Revolution, at least.
Indeed.
And,
3
yes,
generations or so?
it's quite a good number of generations now.
Yeah, I would think so.
And yes, he's been squatting, and this gentleman over here, who I'm sure will introduce himself in a moment, has been helpful with my condition as of late.
I should have brought you.
Enjoying some pipe. Oh, I got a costume. I'll bring the costume pipe as well.
Yes, I'm in very relaxed mode today. Maybe next week I will be a little more prepared.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And that relaxed individual is Dallas.
Hello, my name's Dallas. I'm playing Piers Livingstone. He is a ex-soldier medic, currently a tobacconist by trade. He's as prim and proper as he has ever been raised, but if you ever piss him off, he has a pretty bad side too. He just can't keep his hands out of not only politics, but the goings on in the underground of the city. So he's always trying to help out in some way.
And usually getting in over his head, which I think we sort of saw last episode.
Can't help it.
Yeah. But it all worked out, more or less. And then let's meet Patrick.
Wonderful little...
Hello, I am playing Yazult LeFay. I am the wizard, kind of a member of the Temple of Thoth?
Yeah, the esoteric temple.
Yes,
of Thoth.
esoteric Temple of Thoth. Yeah, I'm flatmates with this wonderful wolf here.
She's gotten used to the bone cracking, though.
I have.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. It's an awful sound. It's horrible. I have to hear that every night. It's just
I
like.
have to live it every night. It's
I know.
not the best. We should really soundproof the room better.
How we do that?
I don't know, pillows?
Curtains?
Curtains would be
Curtains.
That'd be helpful.
Stuff the windows.
So stuff the windows, yeah.
And you thought
Stuff
your
the
roommate
windows.
was bad.
But yeah, I currently am trying to work on finding a way of allowing our friend Diego here to move on.
I don't
But
know.
flat.
Out of that's and out of life.
Yeah, and into the afterlife.
I don't need to be here. I only choose to be here because I want to be here.
Okay, you can leave any time then. Great.
That's fair. So, in our last episode, all four of you were hired by a combination of the Nemean Club and Ordo Sanguis, which is the Mortality and Night factions, respectively, for a single mission: solve the mystery of the Jack the Ripper murders. You were hot on the trail of the Ripper, who's been butchering prostitutes in Whitechapel. Traveled there, got involved in a rat baiting that worked out pretty well. Encountered a pretty rude, nasty member of the Nemean Club, the corrupt cop, Sergeant Jackie Tiger Brown, but you ditched that constable pretty handily. And you ended up at Dr. Jekyll's house, where you discovered that Jack the Ripper has been collecting organs reminiscent of those that Egyptians would use for some of their rituals. So it points to the Temple of Thoth, which just coincidentally is throwing an excellent bash, costume ball, mummy unwrapping.
A rager.
Yeah, it's gonna be the season's hottest mummy unwrapping,
It's Rage Coach.
which is at their sort of a cult headquarters called Karnak, located in Belgravia. So the party is tonight after sunset. So it's gonna be after Roxanne finishes her transformation. So you guys have about the rest of the day to get ready, chat up any leads, visit any other characters, check
Where is
in on.
Belgravia in the London map?
Belgravia is the fancy place. Like, it's not. I mean, it's pretty. It's kind of close to Westminster, which all the government is, the palace, and all that stuff. When they got the London map in here.
Whitechapel's not far from there either.
Oh, I mean that's true. London is like it's all close together here. Yeah, here we are.
Across the Thames.
Yes, across the town.
Yeah, the Palace of Belgravia is kind of like it's right next to Green Park. It's near Knightsbridge. It's kind of close to Hyde Park.
Yeah.
And it's near the Palace of Westminster. If you want to look at it, I'm saying all this stuff like I have any idea what I'm talking about. I do not. Thankfully, there is. I've just seen Sherlock Holmes. They're always having scandals, and is it a scandal in Bohemia?
Yeah.
Or no, sorry. I'm thinking. Okay, the story I'm thinking of. A Shambles in Belgravia is like a Kim Newman, Professor Moriarty story. It's a take on a Scandal in Bohemia. Scandal in Bohemia is the one with Irene Adler, Sherlock Holmes's female counterpart, that shows up. Yeah, that's what that one is from. But
Oh, well, it's really nowhere near Whitechapel then.
yes, Belgravia. This is definitely
That's
like
very
top.
near Chelsea.
Yeah, this is where the tops are. So like, you better have some spats on your shoes and a top hat.
Yes.
Your evening dress better be on point if you want
I
to go
don't
there.
think that I'm going to dress in drag for this party.
Well, I mean, it's a costume party as well, and also it's this kind of this Egyptian. The esoteric Temple of Thoth is all about. They definitely have a big Egyptian theme, but under their Grand Mysteriarch Apollonia Oldenburg, they're all about probing mysteries, finding hidden truths, knowledge for its own sake. So
Yeah, it's
all kinds of costumes would be okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, based upon your complexion, you could probably deceive them into thinking that you are Egyptian.
Probably yes. Though they know who I am. I've done some work for them.
Have you told them in the past that you are Egyptian?
I have not.
You Sure.
I have mentioned that I am an American.
Egyptian American.
Okay, I'm sure that has happened, yes. I'm sure we can play that off.
Just come. I am the Khedive's daughter. Khedive. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Nor am I.
Yeah, the leader of the the leader of Egypt that England sort of appointed when they took it over, like they took over so much of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So is there
Sun
any?
never sets.
Yep, that's true. So let's go around and we'll see if there's any.
No.
Captain Diego, is there any like kind of projects or people you would like to visit before the party begins? So we'll just kind of go around.
Session,
So are we doing
session
the-
intro moves.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. We got to do the session intro moves as well. You can include that if you have any like projects or you want to complete or talk or people you want to talk to. Yes, we all start the session intro moves. You're going to mark a faction, roll that one, and see your standing.
Great. So for this, power's the only one that got left, so I'm going to mark power. And what I'm going to
That
do...
is the Temple of Toss. That's a good good coincidence there.
But I wasn't actually going to the Temple of Thought.
Oh, okay.
No, instead I'm going to take the tea that Dr. Jackal who gave me, and I'm going to shove it in your soul's face. Recreate this!
Okay, yes, I will.
I mean,
He's
been
just
a couple
he's very
months.
rude, Flap. You're very rude as far as
I'm a pirate. We don't really give much of a cred about manners.
That's fair.
Are
Rude
you
pirate.
an
They're
English?
dead pirates.
Are you an English pirate, sir?
No, I'm from Ghana originally.
Oh, well, I shall get rid of this ticket I have for the HMS Pinafore.
Oh man, I bet Captain Diego is just like hearing everyone sing Pinafore stuff, and you're like, ugh. Probably he gets as much tired of the like, I am a pirate king. I am a pirate king. As Livingston
Well, I
does.
mean,
Him.
that's-
Livingston, I presume.
That's really Pirates of Penzance, which is also lovely.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm getting my Gilbert and Sullivan mixed
Has
up.
that been written yet?
Comes with the territory.
I don't know.
I don't think it has.
In this world it has.
Okay.
I have to look it up.
As the game master, I'm saying you can do all the Gilbert and Sullivan references you want.
Either case, the age of pirates is, well, the golden age is over.
It's possible.
You want to just throw down a Three Little Maids from School or We reference? Go for it.
But yeah, rolling power. Let's see if there's any way you can help with this. No, there is not.
HMS Pinafore is from 1870.
I got a 5.
Okay, but what about Pirates of Penzance?
Well, that was a reference Michael made, not me.
I know.
You can check all the nice dates for Gilbert and Sullivan. So, unfortunately, the ghostly tea, ghost tea, not quite happening yet. Oh, unless Piers, you want to give it a try here?
You should bring it by my shop.
Yeah, we'll bring it by
Ooh.
yourself.
I have it regulated.
Oh, really?
All right, so maybe an arrangement is set. Livingston, on your turn, perhaps you could help brew some ghost tea.
Never mind. I'm going to Mr.
That's
Livingston.
fine. I'm okay with this.
Roxanne, are you ready for your opening move, or do you want us to pop back to you?
Oh, no, I'll go ahead. I am researching mortality to try to get a lead on Jack the Ripper by interviewing people around Whitechapel.
That makes sense. Okay.
Like during the day when I'm human looking. But am I ever really human? No, I'm not. 7.
It's debatable.
Okay. So you get to roll that one. Okay, so you could say you learn a little bit more just from like witnesses and so on. I'm gonna say
Says I'm neck deep in it.
Yeah, it
someone
says-
in the faction of debt and someone in that faction owes a debt to me.
I'm thinking it wouldn't be Mad Molly because she's with Ordo Sanguis.
Yeah, she's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a copper. I mean, if you want to say that, like, Tiger Brown and I owe something to each other right now.
Oh, okay. I
Because
might.
doesn't he work the beat?
He definitely
there?
does. I'd be happy to invent another character if you don't want to be like in Tiger Brown's debt.
Well, he's also in my debt.
Okay, that's something you'd be okay with?
Yeah, because doesn't that say, oh, sorry, you owe someone in the faction debt and someone in the faction owes you a debt, so it's not the two same people.
It could be though, I think.
Okay, we owe each other debts.
All right. I mean that makes sense to me. Like maybe like you got into some trouble when you were investigating.
Yeah. And he owes one debt to me to keep my mouth shut about all the prostitutes last night.
Yeah, that makes sense. and all the other various like vice rings he's ringing, and Mac the Knifes he's extorting or
Tiger
hanging
Brown
out
is
with.
a racketeer.
What? What's that?
Tiger Brown is a racketeer.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
Pirates of Penzance came out in 1879.
Okay, so
No
they're both
way.
It was their follow-up to HMS Pinafore.
Okay.
around.
Same year too.
1 year after.
Oh, I thought
Or 2 years after.
so. 77 and 79.
Yeah, I believe HMS Pinafore was 77.
It's like 78 and 79. But may misheard. Interesting.
Um,
We know things now.
I'm a Ruttigore man myself, so no. I mean, all
Oh,
Gilbert
78.
and Sullivan, it's all just...
78 and 79.
I am the very model of a modern major werewolf. Livingston, what would you like to do for your downtime and for your session opening move?
Let's see. Can I do my intro move first?
Sure.
Okay. That one, I would like to see if, since we're on our way to the we're on our way to Karnak, you said, in Belgravia or something.
Yes.
So we're going on the way to this ball. I already have one person besides Assault now that I know in.
So
Sorry,
that's fine.
Assault. I'll get that pronunciation.
Like I
so-
would-
Tristan and Assault.
yeah, I will too.
That's fine.
Professor Rufus Crumbles. Is there anyone else that I still have like a contact with, or like anything? Or like we should maybe look out for that person.
Yeah, let's
or-
have you roll and see what happens.
By the way, their most recent play to have come out at the time of this
nope.
game would be Ruttigore,
Oh, okay, cool.
which received very negative press
Interesting.
What?
I wonder why.
for themes of the occult.
Yeah, makes sense.
Wow. All right. Well, I didn't get that one. That was a
Ah,
Hey.
that was a 4.
okay, well, you get to mark the faction anyway.
So I leveled. I don't find out any information about anyone else I know that's going to be there.
Well, look at you all leveling up. Oh, that's just happening. I did
Do
that
that.
last
That's
week.
And then I would like to see if I can take any last samples of what he has in that tea and possibly like sort of restructure more from the remains of what's left.
Like
sort of
brew your own pot of ghostly tea.
yeah, in a way.
Or maybe invent something else. If it gives you the spark of imagination.
Just
Oh, yeah.
stab a piece of
Ins-
bread with a knife and make active.
Inspect it. See if I can take that to a weapon form or some kind.
Ghostium.
Okay, is there... Livingston, is there like a special move you have in mind for this? Or is there just a...
True artist.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's one of my veteran moves. Like he's all about creating things. That's all I pretty
Yeah,
much do.
I love it.
Just try to like get people in or out of situations and create things.
All right, let's see what you can invent.
Here you go, lad.
So you get
Ghostly
some...
Jimmy.
Yeah, you get some ghost essence and some ghost tea. Let's see what you can brew there.
Woohoo,
Not so
buddy.
good?
What do you add to it, though?
Nothing.
Oh, that's
It's
not.
a roll at night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, you get to
So
mark
I
it, I
did
guess.
level up, so if you want, I can change
Oh.
my faction to...
no, you change. Don't change your faction based on.
Yeah,
that.
because that's what you need to. That's what you need to level up anyway, right? Or, no, on my. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't make it.
Okay.
Still
don't
mark
worry.
the faction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still mark tonight. Yeah.
All right. Let's move to Isolde.
Let's
So,
start again.
It's alright, lad. You tried your best. I know.
This ecto stuff is very difficult to.
Yeah, hard to
Yeah,
work
hold
with.
on.
It's like, well, you probably dealt with ghosts before, but he's a very particular. He's a very old and powerful spirit.
Jekyll knows his things, that's for sure.
But you did level up, right?
I did, yeah. I just haven't marked whatever I'm going to do. I can't take the list.
So, after my brief encounter with Diego, I'm gonna go back to my sanctum, and I'm going to talk to my that
Oh, the nameless doll?
possessed doll that in my possession. I'm gonna roll with power, and kind of pick the doll's brain about possible rituals and weird occult stuff relating to Egyptian organ removal. And I try to get some insight onto the ritual behind what Jack the Ripper is doing. Oh boy, that's bad.
We're all rolling garbage.
5.
Wait, did you roll well?
No.
Cool. Well,
I rolled well on my roll before the game started.
maybe the luck will come back. Let's hope.
Let's change this to a 20.
Yeah, I might be doing it.
Have
What
some
are you talking
luck.
about?
Oh, I just remembered that actually I rolled an 8 on that because I'm +1 forward in Whitechapel right now. That makes no difference at all.
Good to know.
I did level up though.
All right, cool.
And I'm taking 3 more spells. So basically, whatever the doll tells me, I'm not paying attention because I pulled a book off. And I'm just like, ooh, there's spells in this one.
And doll's like, excuse me. Excuse
Yes.
me.
You said something?
Excuse. Okay.
Sorry.
Now, look at your books. Go ahead. I'll just sit over here remembering what it was like to have a body.
Your doll is Roseanne Barr.
Oh, I miss itching. Yeah.
Oh, Mondays.
Oh, Michael, can I wait to take my
Tell you how great
level up
dolls
thing
find
until I
it.
start getting my next level
Oh.
of corruption?
I think that's fair. Okay. Makes sense to me.
That's something in mind.
Yeah, that's cool. So I guess we'll cut ahead to the party.
Sure.
Unless there's any other kind of projects or research. But I think we're good. So we'll cut ahead, skip ahead to a little bit after nightfall. So after Roxanne has become her wolf form. And all you guys assemble outside of Karnak. So the Temple of Thoth, because it's got so many well-heeled members, and Egyptomania is all the rage. Everybody loves those tombs, those pharaoh headdresses. It's a whole thing.
My mask looks like Anubis.
Ooh, that makes sense. So all of these
Makes sense.
costume swells are heading into Karnak, which it mixes a very refined, stately, kind of neoclassical English structure with a more Egyptian theme. So you can see, like, on the rooftop, there's a big obelisk. Kind of like the one they got in Hyde Park, just jutting into the sky, and they have, like, sphinxes on the edges of the big stairwell leading up. And you can see inside, parties already beginning, sort of the mingling, the dancing time, and then a little bit later, the mummy will be revealed and the unwrapping will occur.
That's not going to go well.
I'm going to hit the streets inside of here.
Okay, so you head inside. There is an announcer dressed up in the pharaoh headdress over like a dinner jacket and tuxedo, who specifically announces what's your full title? Are you a lady or
Dame.
Oh, Dame Roxanne de Forest, OBE.
I do a curtsy and go into the room. I have like my specially made evening gown for like when I'm wolfy.
Whoa!
It doesn't have the typical like plunge that was very popular then. It was like, don't show your ankles, but show all of your titties.
That is very Victorian.
Right.
But they're so prim and keep behind closed doors, but also like they're super licentious. So.
Yeah, so instead of the typical like décolletage, it actually does like go up to the neck, but everything's covered. She always has such large hands, doesn't she? So yeah, I do a curtsy in my evening dress, which is customary for werewolves. It's a good time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it really hides the tail.
It's like a special device in it that you actually have to pin your tail up, essentially.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of wedges it.
Or down.
It
more
wedges it between various layers of the corset, or not the corset, but of the
Petticoat?
just the makeup of the petticoat. Yeah.
So you're in like this massive ballroom with various Egyptian ruins and or reproductions scattered about as decorations, and all sorts of well-dressed guests in the fanciest evening wear they can afford for Belgravia are milling about, enjoying some champagne as there's some little cello music being played in the background, and people are talking about the Temple of Thoth and Egypt and the mummy unwrapping to come.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a hit the streets inside of here to see if I can scout out any information about the mummy itself. Like, where'd they get this mummy? Besides Egypt, which, I mean, feels like should be kind of obvious.
Right. Okay, so give me hit the streets.
Okay, so that's with power, yeah.
That is correct.
And then I wanted to kind of go over to all the artifacts and kind of just inspect them as best I can. If I can touch them, touch them and feel the runes and their script on them, and trying to just see if there's anything afoul at the moment.
Okay, so we'll have you do the maybe investigate a place of power
I
right
felt
after,
very
and then we'll
badly.
have. Oh, okay. So you don't. Let me just get the quick response to that. Okay, so you are not able to find anyone who looks like they would know anything about the mummy, but instead you find a certain old flame of yours, Dorian Gray, who he certainly likes the Egyptian stuff because it's beautiful, but his Egyptology knowledge is pretty low. But you, as you're like looking around talking, you bump right into him.
Dorian. I should have expected you at such a party.
Oh, Roxanne, it is I who should have expected you. And we'll get to that right after we have some more. What other people are indulging in tonight?
I rolled an 11.
Ooh, very good. All right, so you give me a question about Temple of Thoth or their activities tonight.
I've heard about curses and such from raiding Egyptian temples and crypts and pyramids. I want to see if there's anything in here that feels like it's drawing some sort of power to it for something.
Okay.
I'm just like if something is attaching and bringing in energy that shouldn't be, or that we expect it to, don't think it does, but actually is.
Okay.
Looking for something cursed.
What you do feel is not so much a curse. What it is like a deep power and then a foreboding or fear around it.
Do I know where the source is?
You can tell it's coming from kind of the backstage area. There's sort of like a little stage in the corner where they have their lectures about Egypt, and like that's probably where the mummy and the other signs announcing him. Yeah, his sarcophagus is hanging out back there.
So, bad news. Something bad's gonna happen tonight. I can already tell. Something bad's gonna happen with the mummy. So, just gonna keep you guys warned about that. Or, technically, just
yeah.
these two, because I don't know where the heck
I'm
you're at.
over flirting with Dorian. She is enormously huge.
I know where you're at, but I see with Dorian, and I kind of skirt around that.
Yeah.
I don't get involved.
Just a little awkward,
By
kind
the
of
way,
an awkward
I feel like
hang.
only in England would it be like, oh, she seems to be 8 feet tall tonight. Carry on.
Yes.
That makes sense. Wouldn't want to be rude to the oversized guest.
Yeah. That mummy's bad news, and they're gonna start unwrapping it tonight, and let's keep an eye out for that.
So where is it? Backstage, you said?
Yeah, I put up the stage where it's at.
You do spot Professor Rufus Crumbles, who's kind of getting things ready for the unwrapping.
Oh, good.
Who is a plump gentleman wearing like kind of a fussy brown Oxford professor's outfit.
He's frumpy.
Yeah, he's got like the pince-nez spectacles on like a
Professor
chain.
Rufus Crumbles.
Yeah, Professor Crumbles. Mhm.
Rufus, old boy.
Oh, hello there.
Good to see you. I've been working on that magic gear that you so desire.
Oh, how wondrous.
It's very laborious, very, very laborious intensive.
Indeed.
But I can only imagine only someone of your nature would need something like that.
Oh, my dear boy, flattery will get you everywhere.
Like to call an old friend and see if he can
Yeah, you guys were together, so maybe not like that.
give me any more info on tonight's mummy unraveling.
Okay. All right, so we can roll there.
Yeah, old
How
friends, old
do you and
favors.
Rufus? I mean, actually, maybe you did have a thing together. Where do you and Professor Crumbles know each other, or how do you know each other? You think?
Perhaps as the youth of studies, maybe our
Your undergrad, yeah.
undergrads were together, and then we sort of branched off in our directions.
I mean, yeah, because you're like an older guy, and he is too. You're like middle aged, maybe.
Oh, easily, I have to be at least middle age, I would say.
Yeah,
Been-
so he's
been
the
about
same. So you definitely probably went to school
like
together.
80s, but yeah.
You remember on the same cricket team.
It's a bond for life right there.
Yeah, I know. Did you bowl? Were you a batman? I don't know. Cricket, who knows?
I don't know how to play that game. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes
You
no
know, prawn
sense.
sandwiches and drank a beer, that's for sure.
All right, so let's roll the old friend thing and see how we go.
Come on, old friend.
No.
Oh, you dead? Oh boy,
Once we did.
That was a
deal?
That was a 3, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to the 3s.
Not again. No,
The bad luck returns. All right. Well, Livingston.
I shouldn't have stole his woman
Yeah.
3 times.
He's like, you could. His earlier friendly reaction to you was all ironic. Now the sarcasm is going
3
away.
times would be appropriate.
He's like,
3 times with 2 different women.
Yeah.
And the
No.
fourth time with the third one was a little bit was too much. That was the issue.
and now, my dear sir, I will take my leave. And he goes away.
I do crumbles. I do.
You were just burning bridges left and right.
What is?
Hates you.
Let's
This
have.
is his normal skill. This is the one it comes with.
I know it should give you some more friends.
Oh,
Dr. Livingston, you do actually notice another person who you know, though he does kind of want you dead.
no.
Samuel Singh Bahadur is in the party as well, and he does spot you and kind of start heading over.
Blood and bloody blood.
Yeah, he wants to talk. Captain Diego, what are you up to? And then we'll cut back to.
This is so bad.
As much as I would love to help, we do have bigger things on the menu. I'm heading backstage to see what I can do with
What
it.
would
What is it, Pharaoh or just a regular mummy?
You're not sure just yet.
Well, I'm heading over to see if I can run interference. No one can see me anyways.
Well, about that.
Repeating.
So you start floating your way in, and why don't you give me an investigate a place of power rolling for night?
For night.
Yeah, which is not the faction that runs the Temple of Todd.
8.
Okay. You notice there is a supernatural force here that you are unfamiliar with. It's very powerful. But it's not the mummy. It's not coming from backstage. It's coming from kind of the area, like, sort of the service entrance that would lead backstage. It is coming from one of the guests. There is a tall, lean, pale gentleman who is like, his hair is all slicked back. He looks vaguely Eastern European. He has an impeccable evening dress. And he has the same signature that Lord Claggett does. But like older and more powerful. And as you're noticing him, he like looks straight at you. So he can definitely smell you out as well.
You should not have drunken an ectoplasm tea, man.
Considering I'm a werewolf and I've got a good sniffer, can I also see if I've noticed this guy?
Why don't you roll investigate a place of power with night and see?
Okay. Because
I
I feel
think-
like, in my opinion, werewolves should be able to smell vampires and they smell real bad.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, rot and the grave and all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was
they
an
do.
11.
Yeah, you notice this guy too. A vampire, older and more powerful than you've dealt with before.
God, the stench off of him. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's really distracting. I wanted to know this before we get to the scene with Dorian Gray because I want to see if she's distracted.
All right. So, Captain Diego, are you going to give this other vampire a wide berth, or are you going to approach him?
If he's one of Claggett's flunkies, well, not flunky, superior in this case. Who knows, maybe he's not in love with Claggett. Maybe I can make a friend of him. Alright, I'm going to float right up to him. And not going to manifest, I'm just going to say, can you hear me?
He sort of turns his head so he's not a party, kind of give him some privacy, and raises his glass of red, not wine, and is like, I hear you, spirits.
Who are you?
I am Dracula.
Dracula. Count Dracula? Would I even know that?
You probably wouldn't. It's a weird name. He's like, yes. Oh, wait, you wouldn't say Count Dracula.
I know. It's like +1 harm and my harm is armor piercing.
Ooh. Count Dracula is my
You
name.
level up, I guess.
The
Captain
name that I have taken in Undeath.
That's fine.
Captain
His
Diego
son.
Wensley. Pleased to meet you.
It is a pleasure. Forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
It wouldn't matter anyways, mate. I mean, yeah.
Ooh, so we'll cut back to you and Dracula's conversation a little bit. Meanwhile, in this Victorian literature roundup, Roxanne's talking to Dorian Gray.
Yeah. Sorry, I've caught a whiff of something quite putrid in this room. At any rate,
Well, I do hope it isn't emanating from me.
of course not. You're an aesthete. If anything, you smell sometimes of, I want to say tonight, maybe of mint and a hint of sorrow.
Ooh,
Bucket of lube.
keenly smelt as ever.
It is quite a shame for you humans that you can't smell emotions as my kind can.
I find quite many things about being human rather shameful.
Quite. And yet not your sexuality, which I find quite refreshing in a Victorian gentleman.
Indeed. And as a matter of fact, that is why I was so pleased to note your presence tonight. I was hoping our paths would cross once again.
As I was hoping as well.
Oh, our relationship brought a great deal of joy to me. I would be interested in continuing it in a fashion.
Well, I'm all ears to capitalize on a particular joke. Shall we dance as we continue our discussion? Is there dancing?
Yeah, they got some dancing, some couples wheeling around while the band's going on. He says, "Yes, but perhaps you'll have to lead."
Okay.
So you guys are like wheeling around here. So tell me, what brings you to the Temple of Thoth?
Incurring wrath.
Well, we've heard that this person that's been causing quite a problem in the district where I live might be one of your lot.
He says, I find that rather difficult to believe. These Temple of Thoth types, the only thing they slice through is a good conversation and witty bon mots. Mine in particular, which they do not appreciate.
Yeah, well, I think that your time of being appreciated is still in the future. Don't
No, I just realized you should have made some pun about like sharp wits and their knives being sharp. Dang it! All right, we'll do
Next time.
we'll do
Next
that for my
time.
second draft. Keep going.
Page whatever.
I know this is the problem of having to roleplay characters who are so witty.
I'm surprised that Oscar isn't here. He's always seems quite keen on you, that Irish bloke.
Oh, he's like, yes, he does tend to hang around me rather like the fur upon your luxurious body. And yet he is not to be found tonight. Perhaps some of the company here worries him.
Perhaps, or perhaps he's with that young thing again, who surely is going to land him in Reading jail.
That may be so, but for him, it'll be a merry journey there, and that's really all that matters, isn't it?
Yes. I can't remember if he's written the importance of being Buddhist yet.
If he needs to for whatever comment you're about to make, he has.
Okay.
Go for it.
Have you seen his little farce?
He's like, I found it diverting, which is really all that one can hope for.
Yes, I suppose so. How much of that do you think had not been performed yet? Oh well.
They read a rough draft.
I do wonder if he's ever going to get to put it on professionally. Or if such matters even concern him.
We'll have to see. But for Mr. Wilde, along with myself, the pleasure of creation is often pleasure enough.
Well, you are quite the one for pleasure.
Oh, well, as always, your keen nose has found me out.
Yes. Quite.
So, while you guys are dancing around, what is Iseult doing?
I'm trying to not go into R-rated territory, so
All right.
I just feel like that's inappropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, Roxanne's kind of a mixed I mean, she's sort of a gentle woman, so maybe she wouldn't, like, talk, you do the behind closed door stuff out in the open.
She tries to do it, like, as metaphor. More than anything else.
I don't know what she's gonna do. She's kind of just wandering around the party at this point, still really concerned about the mummy thing.
Okay. Professor Rufus Crumble is actually going to approach you, Iseult.
Oh.
Yeah, you know each other as well, as
Yeah.
I recall. Yeah. So Professor Crumble is looking a little bit worried now. Comes over to you.
Good evening, Professor.
Good evening, my dear American friend.
Can I help you with anything?
I'm afraid perhaps your talents may be necessary. Would you mind coming backstage?
Sure, of course.
So he leads you to the backstage area. And there is the sarcophagus kind of set up.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that mummy, that spirit is definitely within there. In front of it is the High Mysteriarch, Apollonia Oldenburg. Oh, wait, just a second. Olympia? Is it Olympia or Apollonia? Let me check real quick. I got her name here.
It's Apollonia.
Yes, it is Apollonia, yeah.
Hi, Mysterium.
Yeah, so, and she is like a very thin woman, very straight gray hair and put back, and wearing like white robes trimmed with silver. Currently, she's got like her hand on the sarcophagus and is like looking look of consternation on her wrinkled face.
What do you need what do you need me to help with?
She says, I sense a great worry within the spirit that lies behind this ancient stone.
I felt it too. I'm quite worried about that. Especially if we're going to be opening it to unwrap whatever is inside of it.
Tutmosis X must be unwrapped.
How can I assist?
He in life was like you, one who delved into the secrets of the world. Perhaps you can shed some light on what worries him. You could speak to his spirit, or at least stand ready to receive him when we bring forth his dead visage from beyond the aeons of time. She's very dramatic.
Yeah. It's just making her even more anxious. I will try, yes, and I'll be ready. I reach and I pull out the kind of medallion that I have, and I'm going to channel some magic to have at least prepared. Which is real good. So I have 4 hold.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so as you're charging up the magic, you can sort of feel a kinship, a like kind of similar. What's the word? You can feel the spirit within the sarcophagus, kind of like rising to the occasion. Some similar like a desire to know magic as well. And Professor Crumble says, "Oh yes, this is a rather fortuitous meeting, as Tutmosis X was something of a wizard in his own time, if the hieroglyphics are read correctly."
Which I'm sure you've all read them correctly. I can feel them reacting to the magic that I'm pulling here.
Excellent. Well, hopefully it will set him at ease. We certainly wouldn't want the most valuable guest at the party to have a terrible time.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Well, why don't you stand here to the wings while I commence the unwrapping?
Okay.
Oh dear.
So, meanwhile, Livingston. So,
Am I able to find Roxanne, or is she still
she's not really hiding.
in one-on-one sort of?
She's actually dancing right now with Dorian, but kind of moving their dance closer and closer to the vampire, which I was going to ask if I can try to put a face to the name on that particular vampire.
Okay, that's fair.
See if he's
Is that okay if she just pops in and does that real quick, and then we'll...
Yeah.
Back to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
actually. I would like to cut in there.
Okay. She has no idea who that is.
That's fair.
That is a 6.
He's a foreigner, after all.
Yeah.
But recently arrived on England's shore. So, Livingston, also, Singh is, like, beelining towards you. So your goal is to, like, cut into the dance to avoid talking to him?
Switch partners.
Who's beelining towards you?
Saying the guy who first went me dead. Yeah.
Who still might want you dead.
He's
you're
like the bodyguard.
You're
of-
going to cut into dance with me?
Yes, if I can. I'd like to.
Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Excuse me, my dashing man, but I must have this dance if you don't mind.
Dorian says, I trust you will find her an agile partner. And he does let you get in there.
Indubitably. Yeah.
You seem quite concerned with something.
So yes, Isolde had explained about. Sorry, say that one more time again. It was out of character. Sorry.
Out of character, I was concerned about a presence,
That's
something
what-
malicious, something
The
anxious,
presence was somebody, not.
Ah, yes.
something.
When
Something.
I
Okay.
twirl you...
Yeah, I mean, it's got a personality to it.
Yeah,
I
but
want
the
to-
first time I didn't know. Now I do know.
That's
That's
true.
why I was wondering
When I,
if I relayed that correctly.
when I twirl you, you will see a gentleman, a foreign gentleman. He seems to be a vampire of some great power. Perhaps you will know who he is. Turns.
Perhaps.
All right, so you turn and face old Count Dracula.
You can probably do a face with the name if you want.
Oh, possibly. I was going to try some layouts and plans with you.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to try to work towards mostly, but if that's possible, I mean, I'll roll
You can go ahead and do
for
both.
both of them. But basically, I was going to tell you that if he's if she's correct, sorry,
It's fine.
if she's correct,
You're good.
this may be the person you want to keep your eye on and switch partners from me to keep your eye on him. But that's the plan, just like to keep around him,
Okay. Perhaps if you
not
could
lose sight.
tell me who he is, that might help.
10, so sweet. I get 3 hold, which is going to be helping you out in a bit.
So this is your plan.
Yeah, this is my plan for you.
Okay.
Stick with it.
Okay.
Stick with whether it's engaging conversation, battling, whatever it may be.
Okay,
Just stick
I
with
can believe I can do that.
I have no doubt in your abilities.
All right, how about you put a face to a name?
This gentleman that you're talking about is none other than I'm not sure who that is actually.
Also, you don't know him. He's a foreigner.
Yep. Quite dashing though. Quite dashing. You should definitely have a dance.
Man,
Meanwhile,
at least something worked.
Yeah.
At least something worked.
yeah, I mean,
The plan.
1 out of 2.
should go well.
The plan's perhaps the more important one.
Okay, so what's the plan that I'm going to dance with him and somehow there's a +3 or 4 to whatever I'm doing?
Well, you're going to be. I have 3 hold I can spend for you to anything you need to do with this guy.
Likes to keep him busy.
Where I can give you +1 to his roll, I can dismiss harm from him if he attacks you.
Ooh.
I can ensure you have a piece of gear that you would need. It doesn't matter how far you are from me.
That's fair. Keep Dracula busy.
Meanwhile, I'm shaking this guy's hand.
Yeah. So Dracula says,
I'm trying to get him close.
actually, have you done face to a name for him?
Not yet.
So I'm wondering if he knows you've heard of him. Why don't you do that? Because he might.
Put a face to a name.
Yeah, he would comment on it. He knows who you are, actually.
That's a 9.
Okay, so
You're the first one that knows who the hell
Yeah.
he is.
that does make sense because you've been around in Ordo Sanguis the longest, and are the longest lived of all these pathetic mortals that you're hanging out with.
Well, I wouldn't say pathetic.
I wouldn't
used to be
quite
immortal
say
myself.
mortal.
Yeah, wrong on both counts.
I'm
Pathetic might be
older.
something descriptive of me.
I'm getting older.
No, you're trying your best. I mean, your best is your best. But thanks.
Stop being an asshole about it. I'm working on it.
If you
So-
continuously write threatening letters in the mist from the,
It might be smoother going.
yes.
That's not me.
Oh
Directly.
man, just think, oh, that was the other ghost.
Even your ghost
breaking your stuff.
So, Captain Diego, you do know you've never met him before, but you have heard a lot of rumors about like what goes on in Eastern Europe. it's really like that kind of territory is sort of like the Wild West for Ordo Sanguis. They're more of a Western European organization. Vampires kind of came from there originally, and sort of the most powerful ones, the ones who are like, they have a more like medieval, like feuding noble type structure. That's kind of still going on over there.
Oh, so he's like east side to our west side.
A little bit, but it's sort of like in England and in Western Europe, there's a definite order. Like, all the vampires know each other, have ranks in Ordo Sanguis. You got a rank. Werewolves got ranks, except for Roxana's a little bit kind of breaking away from that.
Well, my mother didn't agree with the whole don't kill Claggett policy.
Yeah, they got that policy. Like, they don't really fight each other. In the East, there's just, like, nobles, their estates, their servants, and they feud amongst each other and kind of rule like kings. Some of them even out in the open if they're, like, way out in the countryside. And Dracula is one of the most powerful of those lords. So the fact that he's here, like, he's only a member of Ordo Sanguis in the most, like, technical manner. He's definitely, like, he's an independent power.
He paid dues one time.
Yeah, he's honorary member only.
So the Ordo wouldn't have sent
His
him
grandfather,
here.
isn't it?
That seems very, yeah, that seems true.
So I'll just ask directly. So, what brings you to this most special of occasions, Count Dracula?
He says, I have landed on these shores for the same reason that William the Conqueror landed on these shores so many years ago. I wish to make England mine. Purely because now this is the empire that the sun never sets on. And if I wish to forever bring the children of the night out of the darkness, it is England that I must conquer. And that brings me to you, my friend. You have served Ordo Sanguis for centuries.
Not willingly, I would say.
Yes.
They've kind of nickel and dimed us, led us by a leash. Freaking curs.
Indeed. I know how it is to be, to have your power broken. For how long did I attempt to keep Transylvania free of the Turks, only to see it finally conquered under their heel? I wish to bring you freedom. Turn against Ordo Sanguis. Join me, and we can rule this island and these mortals in the light of day.
That's a tempting offer, Count Dracula. I mean, you know I don't really have any love for Ordo Sanguis. Heck, if they could have the opportunity, I would love to put Lord Claggett's head on a spike on me ship.
He's like, perhaps that could be arranged. I am, after all, the Impaler.
Doubly noted.
I don't know.
We're talking to the right guy here.
Condense with me, grab some yanks.
He's like, I will give you. I do not expect an answer immediately. I will give you time to think, but be aware, plans are already in motion. Blood is already being shed. Soon, this entire empire will be Dracula's kingdom.
Well, I might not be able to give my answer right now, but as a sign of good faith, for me and me crew, if you could do us a small favor, just to show us this might be the right choice. We are currently trying to find the Ripper of a sort, who's been murdering the ladies of the night on London streets. Would you be able to help us in our investigation? See, I can be cordial when I want to.
Oh, okay.
No doubts.
I
Little sarcasm.
Why don't you give me a persuade?
All right, heart.
Yeah, so roll heart, yes.
Dang, 5. Alas.
Last boy Yorick.
Okay, he says,
Maybe he just doesn't know anything.
the order treats you like a servant, making you sniff around in the gutter searching for this murderer. It is just another symbol of their disrespect for you.
You know.
Do not concern yourself with this Ripper business. Soon, the blood he sheds is just a trickle compared to the ocean that will follow. Ooh,
You
alright.
know what? He might be onto something.
Okay, Vladimir Brown, calm the fuck down.
Yeah. So Roxanne, I think you and Livingston had a plan, like you wanted to try and get a little closer to Dracula yourself.
That is correct. Although I don't know what I'm doing to on that. Just getting closer to him and get him on the dance floor, keeping him occupied, right?
Yeah. Sort of like the honeypot.
Yeah. Awkward honeypot.
Yeah.
Really
Sure.
awkward honeypots.
Hope he's a furry.
Only for certain hours.
Alright, so you want to pop over to Dracula, you want to ask him to dance?
I guess so. I guess that's a persuasion.
Yeah, I can give you that roll if you want. Roll with heart, and you can.
Can I lend a hand?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I also have the hold going forward.
Roll with
Yeah.
her faction. So roll with with Knight.
Knight.
Yeah,
It's always night.
I know, not
sorry.
Knight tonight.
Dang it,
No.
5.
Anything that deals with engaging him in any which
Yeah.
way. That's,
Okay.
That's the
So
plan.
I am not helping you.
Okay.
It's okay. You still get +1.
Hello. My name is, well, I was announced, and I'm afraid that I arrived after you were announced. And you do look as to be a nobleman of some variety.
Well spotted. I am Count Dracula.
Count Dracula. I am Dame Roxanne de Forest. I've, of course, not achieved a title anywhere near yours. And yet, perhaps you would do a lower noble the favor of dancing?
Give me a quick persuade. Let's see.
Rolling on heart.
Yay!
Woo, with a +1.
Yay!
Makes me at 0.
Yes.
Yay!
I am highly tempted.
Oh!
But no one is.
Even with the +1.
Just
Yeah,
missed.
with the
Just-
+1, it is a 6.
Just missed.
Ooh.
Okay.
Her heart is -1.
You can tell that.
Growling in his face.
You can tell that like he's interested in you, but not in dancing.
You seem interested in me in a way. I take it that you can tell what I am just as I can tell what you are, yes?
He says, yes, and it is an interest that I feel to all things that are beautiful.
Do you find one such as myself beautiful?
There are many different varieties of beauty. In my time, I have tasted them all.
I'm sure that you've done quite a bit of tasting. You do seem to have the mark of the ancients about you.
That is a truer description than you know, Dame DeForest.
So, what brings you to jolly old England? Surely not the weather.
I did.
Let's see. You can tell he's kind of like, well, he really opened up to Captain Diego
He did.
because he kind of, he's kind of here. He was seeking Diego out almost. With you, he's a little more guarded.
you guys anything.
Oh, and you're not telling him the
That's
real
fine.
reason
I
he's
didn't write
there.
any of it down.
That's okay.
He just says like,
Asshole.
I am a simple visitor from a simple country. I simply came to this great city to hear the chimes of Big Ben.
They are quite lovely, aren't they? Tell me. I don't know what she knows about Ordo Sanguis because she doesn't really belong to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's been to London. She hangs out in Whitechapel. Like, she knows Mad Molly. And you knew who Claggett was, right? So
Yeah, she does. So
from
she-
family
so
lore at
she
least.
does
So you
know.
probably know
Say a bunch of
more than a little.
So tell me, are you going to be taking this territory from the Lord Claggett?
Ooh. Okay. I think to. I'm unclear if this be persuade or figure someone out.
Let's probably figure someone out.
Yeah. Because you're kind of like directly asking him,
I
like,
am,
tell me
so-
your plan. But figure someone out works as well.
All
What's
right.
your character's beef with Blank?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I get to roll on mine, which is 0 plus 1. Ah,
Okay. But you don't have to like spend the +1 there if you.
I will. That
Ooh.
makes it a 7.
Nice. All right.
So I have to hold 1. So
Okay.
I am basically trying to figure out what is his beef with the English vampires.
Okay.
I guess specifically Lord Claggett, but that for her is sort of synonymous with English vampires.
Right. Okay. So, what you're able to tell, and he sort of explains this a little bit. He's like, Ordo Sanguis are a pack of clowns. They dress up, they play at being vampires, and yet, when the play is over and the stage lights come on, they are gone. I am not here to play.
And it seems as though that you have very similar purposes to my family, and we should discuss someplace in more private.
I would think so. And he actually wants to know something about you,
Okay.
because the 7 to 9, he gets one question for you.
Okay.
And he wants to know what your beef is with Claggett, because he's kind of gathering allies, so he's thinking you might be a possible ally as well.
It has been my family's greatest wish to see him brought to sunlight for centuries now.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, he's like, indeed, we should speak.
But you never know where the ears might be around here.
A ghostly ear. He's like, he says, that is fair. We will speak after this.
Very good.
I will perhaps come to your flat. Is that the word?
Yes, or if you perhaps have more of a safer place. My flatmate actually has a place that might be better to meet.
Okay. He says, I will send word. Perhaps it is best if you visit me. I require an invitation. Oh, those vampire rules. He does say, a final warning. Tonight you will see something that will perhaps scare you. I urge you, do not intervene.
Very good.
And he sort of slinks away into the shadows.
I give him a bell.
Ah.
I
Meanwhile,
curtsy and move back to Livingston.
Livingston, Singh has cornered you.
Blast.
Yeah.
You tried.
Yep.
I'll
And-
try to intervene at the last minute.
He is not. He's not going to attack you on sight.
That's
Yes.
yeah.
I'm sure that it goes real well for an Indian guy to attack a British
Yeah,
gentleman.
exactly. So he's too intelligent for that, for sure. He does kind of lean close to you and whisper in like a harsh voice. Livingston Sahib, you're enjoying the party?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Singh.
Yes.
Quite lovely, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. Though I do not often find myself enjoying such festivities. But the Nemean Club sent me, and here I am. I am a soldier, and I follow my commands.
On what matter, perhaps?
Simply that the Nemean Club wishes to understand what these certain organizations are doing here. If there's any danger to the British people, if there's any danger to the party goers who are here, and while they were aware that you were attending, perhaps they somewhat doubt your tactical prowess. There are several hundred good members of the Punjabi Rifles who would perhaps attest otherwise if they were not dead on the plains of Afghanistan thanks to your blunders.
Yes, good old days.
He was a regular Lord Raglan, just leading them to doom. Or I'm trying to think of all the... There were like some really terrible British commanders during like the Afghan wars. I remember I read...
Most of them?
Yeah, most of them. I remember I read like Flashman, and like it's just like they're so bad at it.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we not think back on such horrific things. However, tragedies, perhaps, should be averted everywhere. There's this strange something here tonight. I don't know if you are interested in the festivities or if you've truly been sent here for other purposes. But I assure you that I am the least of your worries.
Okay. Give me a persuade on him. And while you're doing that, Scooter, I don't know if you've a Band-Aid. I've got full method and actually cut myself, I think.
Oh, no.
Well, let's talk about vampires. You got me.
Yes.
Finally.
I know, right? It's broke the slump.
A couple of successes.
I think it was just a...
But
that was like a
definitely,
real good one.
definitely playing half and half though right now.
Yeah.
Half and half's about as good as you can expect.
Medical emergency.
How'd you do with the roll there? It's a
12.
little cut, but you know.
I did a 12 on persuasion.
I'll just get it. I got Band-Aids now. Oh, yeah, okay.
That's
All
hard.
I just gotta remember where
That's
I
a
put
1.
everything.
Vampires.
So what'd you get for the persuade?
12.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, he's like, perhaps I misjudged you, Livingston Saeed. I thought you were like all of these British soldiers fresh from Eton, arriving in a foreign country. You would think they know what's best and then lead so many good men to their deaths. But maybe there is actually something good about you. I ask you, do you seek redemption?
For any horror I may have caused, yes, always and every day. But those are the nightmares that we live with, is it not?
It is fair. One of the precepts of my people is acceptance. So if you do wish for redemption, perhaps I can find it in my heart to accept you.
And bygones be bygones.
Yeah. If you can demonstrate a desire to protect innocent life, then perhaps that'll be the case.
Well, seeing my goal is as much as I can to help people, and being human, my goal is to always preserve life.
Okay.
I can't always protect my own.
Can I ask what might seem like a weird question? Does this venue have balconies?
Yeah, I think it might have. It might have like, maybe it's kind of like on an edge, just like a veranda off to the side. So yeah, there could be like kind of a small balcony area.
Okay, when it gets back to me, I have 2 things I want to do.
Okay.
But it's been a long time since Assault got to do anything.
Right. Well, I think actually, Assault, it is now time for you and the Wings for the mummy unwrapping to begin.
Great.
Okay, the thing I want to do is before the mummy unwrapping.
That's fine. I'm cool. No.
You can do one thing for the mummy unwrapping because it's time. Like there's stuff to
This
do with
has
the
been a lot of
fanfare.
talking.
The curtains are opening.
She grabs both Livingston and Dorian and brings them up to the balcony.
Oh yes, the view is better up here. Good idea.
I see them
He's looking
like,
right at. He's looking at you actually, and is like, quiet.
Is there something behind me?
He is a aesthete, and he's quite taken by beauty in all of its varieties, and I believe that you find him beautiful in a particular way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Livingston's a kind of a silver fox thing going, so...
Unless I misinterpreted what Dorian was doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
That's
was doing.
exactly what he was doing.
You do not misinterpret.
Besides, the Count leads me to believe there might be quite a very lot of bloodshed in a moment, and best to be further away from it.
Thanks.
Oh.
Unless I misinterpreted what the Count was saying.
You definitely did not.
Okay.
Dorian Gray's like, yes, I wouldn't want to get my bespoke suit ruined
Have you
by
ever
excess bloodshed.
Have you ever seen a man eviscerated before, Dorian?
No.
It's quite something to see.
So at least they're off to the side. Is there anything else you want to say or repair with these guys, or just kind of updating them?
No, I think that was like her invitation to Dorian to start making out because she wants to make out during the carnage.
Oh, that's so weird.
All right, what's your intimacy move? But is that it might not be related to that exactly? But this might be a good
that
time.
reminds me, I know where you are all the time during this game. When you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, with another person, you create a primal bond with them. You always know where to find them. When they're in trouble, the bond lasts until the end of the next session. So I suppose that I'm forming a primal bond with Dorian Gray, and I will know where he is
Yeah, that sounds good. I think.
at all times and maybe with you too.
Yeah, well, I think you two start going at it, and Dorian Gray is kind of looking at you, being like,
By the way, I found out you actually mark a faction when you do that.
Yeah.
Mentasuno.
Oh, I'm supposed to mark a faction?
Yes,
Their
you can mark
Power.
power, which is his.
I have totally forgot to do
I
that.
didn't realize
and
that I'm supposed to
don't know
do
if
that.
everyone else has been doing it.
I've been doing it since the first game.
All
I
right,
guess I'll mark
Assault.
I read the
It is
rules.
mummy time.
Yeah, it's mummy time.
So-
Mighty Morphin Mummy time.
The curtain goes back. Those mighty morphin mummies.
So I don't know, is Livingstone getting in on the weirdest?
I don't know, Livingston. Do you want to reveal the truth of it, or no, or just let it be a sweet mystery?
He's hip to anything that anybody wants to do, but he's quite old school.
Okay.
Looting away
think
to
he goes-
assaults.
Yeah.
So you're not into making out with an immortal and a werewolf no bloodshed whatever.
Leaving the
Where?
bucket.
Yes, that's it.
This is
Yeah,
a
I think
fiasco.
Diego's floating away.
Hey.
So, meanwhile,
Am I wrong?
I don't know how I managed to talk myself into this particular situation.
well, it's a good one, I guess.
It's a funny one.
Professor Crumbles
She's
pulls.
always in the background doing something weird.
Yeah, I love it. Professor Crumbles opens up, or they removes the big stone sarcophagus lid, and you can see within this emaciated, very bandaged out, very ancient mummy. And everybody's attention is on that. And Professor Crumbles says, "I present, for your enjoyment and approval, Tutmosis X, one of the most renowned of the wizard pharaohs of the old dynasty. Let us commence the unwrapping." And he starts working at the bandages, starting to free them. And Assault, you can see the mummy Tutmosis is not liking this.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 hold.
Oh, okay.
Everybody on the stage gets +1 armor.
That's a good idea, because Tutmosis snaps his arms back, sending 4 Professor Crumbles flying off the stage. And there is a gasp as this mummy steps out of the sarcophagus.
Oh boy.
Diego's just observing all this in the spirit from kind of floating around, watching it all. You can definitely see this too, Livingston. I'm sure you kind of.
The show has started.
You funny.
Oh, don't worry. With the way that we're doing this, we can both see.
Oh.
Is there a mirror? Well,
Do you want me to say?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I personally, my character doesn't want you to say it. Me has questions.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Just saying, they call it doggy style.
Oh jeez.
So, Crumble has been knocked the F out by this creature.
Maybe not knocked unconscious, but at least knocked into the knocked off the stage. Actually, let me see. Diego, give me a investigate for wilds. I want to see if you notice something.
Just
what?
carry a mature content warning sign.
Yeah, you are a mature content.
11.
Whoa. Okay, you notice something. And what you notice is there is a kind of glass rooftop to Karnak. So you can get the sunlight and moonlight going in. Very good for all these kinds of rituals. There are some other creatures there that are a little bit like you, that they are dead. There are these 3 robed figures crawling their way on the glass. And they are dressed like old-timey Chinese nobles. They have elaborate robes covered with embroidery and characters.
This is an Egyptian party.
And those big hats, and their skin is totally pale and rotten.
Oh boy.
And one of them,
I did not know that Chinese vampires would be wild.
one of them takes its claws, carves through, and a giant tongue unrolls from its mouth and starts trying to drip downwards, heading towards that mummy.
Alright, so I'm gonna manifest to be heard and seen. I'm going to go to Yselt. Yselt, ceiling.
Fire.
Whoa! All right. Cool.
Yeah, I am using my elementalism to unleash a bolt of fire in the direction of the tongue as it's descending. Let's hope this works. Unleashes blood, and blood's -1. Nope, that's a 5.
Oh no! Okay.
If I lend a hand, it wouldn't matter, would it?
No.
No, that would just get her to 6.
Which makes weird sense that my magic is blood.
Yeah, Livingston's not lending us a hand.
No. None of you guys are lending any of us a hand, at least at this moment. So yeah.
I was very specifically told not to by a guy that I'm trying to, see what he's all about, so...
I'm currently trying to figure out my morality.
Yeah, I mean, Dracula did say don't intervene, but so it is up to you at this point.
I don't really know which thing he was talking about, so if these Chinese things are part of it too,
Well, it certainly seems like these Chinese things mean violence and death. This is kind of what he's referring to.
Yeah.
There is a massive gout of fire that kind of spawns from me. Yeah.
All right, a lot of flame.
A lot of flames.
So these two, one of the tongues creeps down and circles Tutmosis' tense mummy waist, starts hauling him up. The other one's going for your throat. So, Yselt, give me a keep your cool.
On this, I will lend a hand.
That's an 11.
I
Nice.
don't need to lend a hand.
All right, so how do you avoid? This is the dodging in masks. How do you avoid the tongue snaking down, noose-like, to strangle you?
I actually spend the last of my holds to teleport back.
Whoa, nice. All right, the tongue just slaps down, misses you. The other of the hopping corpses cuts through the glass, plops down in the middle of the audience, and starts kind of terrorizing everybody, sort of as cover. So it's starting to slash out its claws, sending its tongue everywhere in a big kind of whipping circle.
But not
Definitely.
actually hurting anyone.
No, he's hurting people.
Yeah, dang it.
That tongue is cutting people up, knocking them down. He's slashing them. It
We should
is.
really get one of them up here, Dorian.
Dorian's sorry, a little busy at the moment.
As much as the whole Dracula conversation went, I can't ignore people being hurt in front of me just like that. I mean, literally, it's a thing, Spectre. If I ignored victimization and do nothing, mark corruption.
Well, you don't want to mark corruption for this?
Not for this. I'm going to mark corruption for the other thing. Is there anything the size of a car within the parlor?
Oh yeah, there's a huge, lots of Egyptian statues. They like a giant sphinx, I think.
All right.
Not as big as the actual sphinx,
But a big one.
But
a car-sized one.
Enough to squish this thing.
Yeah, big as a
Using-
handsome cab.
Telekinesis, marking corruption to lift that thing and throw it onto the Chinese zombie.
All right, you pick up that sphinx. The Jiangshi or hopping corpse
The Jiangshi.
looks up and then plump it is crushed. But you can tell, like, it's on right on top of it, but you can see its arms still kind of crawling, and it's still sort of, it's pinned down, but it's not dead. It's still, like, crawling its way out. So maybe, like, something else will have to be able to really hurt them.
Yeesh.
All right, Livingston.
So, you two going to be at this for quite some time, or are we going to help out everyone down below?
Well, I mean, the Dracula fellow really asked me to not. Don't keep doing that. Really asked me to not get involved, so I'm keeping myself busy.
Okay.
Dorian just says, quiet.
Have you
Maybe I can think of England, dear.
Yeah.
Yes. God save the Queen. If you can find it in your heart to join us, please do so, and I will do my best to aid Isal because she's currently backed away, right, but still possibly engaged.
Yes, one of the hopping corpses is like coming down to attack her.
All right. So is there any way I can get in close to that one?
You can probably like dash through the crowd and get up onto the stage. It's not a super huge ballroom area.
Okay. If I'm getting close enough, then I will try to attack. If I can't, then I will try to do something else.
You have a ranged weapon?
Basically it's a magnum.
Okay,
it's
that would be You could definitely shoot the
arm
corpse.
close. Yeah.
It's kind of like coming down. What's the word? Alien, Spider-Man style, drooping down from the ceiling.
Okay. I just kind of would walk up all calmly and sort of like, everyone move, 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 and then just whip out of the jacket out of nowhere and sort of like just as close as I can, bang.
All right, let's let it out.
Let's hope so, because blood is not my strong suit.
Nor is mine.
Yeah,
No.
no. It's been a while.
It jams.
How do you know?
Oh, dear.
What'd you roll there?
That was a 5.
Well, I'm sorry that the person that's good at fighting is being Roderick senseless right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, hilariously enough.
Getting nasty letters, I'm sure.
I will say this, Livingston. The bullet does look like it hits. Like you're not a terrible shot. And maybe like take some meat out of its shoulder there, but the Jiangshi is unconcerned.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna take something more than physical damage to stop these things.
Do they have something over their face?
Damn.
Yeah, they have these like pinned into their head these kinds of scrolls with some strange writing on them.
Cool. Is that my?
Okay, yes, assault.
I'm going to channel some magic. So I gotta do that to get some back. That's a 9, so that's not bad. So I have 4 hold again, and I do mark corruption,
Ooh, okay.
trying to get more, and then
But I'm going to say, by the way, at this point, so the green one is attacking, or the azure one is attacking you. The crimson one has picked up Tutmosis' 10th and is currently hauling him through the glass, trying to carry him
also
away.
try to get it before it got too high up to hit with
What's
some
it
magic.
like Dracula's doing in all of this?
He just slipped away.
He left
He left.
a while ago.
So he just wanted this violence to happen. Okay.
Yeah, I want to try to use my fire again to burn up the scroll on his face.
Ooh, okay.
On the one that's hauling Tutmosis out of the room.
All right, that's the one with the crimson robes.
Yeah. That's a 4.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, dear.
You set the fire, it scorches some glass, but it does miss. Now, that Jiangshi has got Tutmosis, the 10th, over the glass, and is starting to, like, haul this poor mummy away.
Can I ask, these things are wild? That's their faction?
I rolled wild to
Yeah.
So,
notice them.
can I roll wild to figure out what these things are?
That's good. That's a good idea.
Alright.
And then we'll have,
I mean, all I'm
There you
doing
go.
is watching it right now. That's
Yes.
an 8.
okay. So, you know they are, Chinese. You know they're hopping corpses, like the name of it. What you do know is that if it's Chinese and it's in London, the odds are it comes from Boss Autumn, who runs the White Dragon Triad, which is like kind of a... I mean, he is a supernatural creature himself, though you don't know too much about it. But they're sort of like a They're a crime organization, but also, I mean, because they're in a imperiled immigrant community, they also like help out a lot and help kind of protect these immigrant individuals in a very racist and unfriendly city. Yep. But yeah, so like Boss, so they definitely come from Limehouse, and Boss Autumn is like, yeah.
Limehouse is next to Whitechapel, so never mind.
It is. It's pretty close to it. That's where the big Chinese community is.
Well, then I know where they're taking this thing.
Well, that's as far as you know. Oh, no, sorry, it's a tong, not a triad. Gotta make sure I get them right.
Oh, sorry, it's a tong.
Yeah. Triads are, I think, in China. Tongs are... Though I guess there's triads outside of there, too. It's a complicated thing. I know they like tongs in San Francisco, too.
And Los Angeles.
Yes.
Big old Tong War.
Oh, yeah. The new series, the Cinemax series Warrior is all about, I think, the San Francisco one. Looks really great. I'm excited. Okay. Captain Diego.
Alright, so the one that's hauling the Pharaoh away, is it actually gone away, or is still kind of struggling?
It's like on the glass rooftop.
All right.
But Moses' tent is fighting it.
I'm heading up there. I can't really touch it, and it can't touch me, but I can distract it.
How do you get in its face?
By getting in its face,
That's fair.
I'm going to just float right up to it and shoot my gun right into its face. It can hear it, so it's going to be loud.
Okay.
That wasn't a roll, though it would have been really good. 10.
Whoa.
There you go.
So pick 3. I'm going to create an opportunity, expose a weakness or flaw, and confuse them for some time.
Okay, so he's definitely stopped. Like, this kind of, it's sort of looking like a feral animalistic rage. Hopping corpses slashing at the air, slashing out with its tongue, but it's just not able to get a tongue around your ghostly body.
Which one did you attack?
Huh? The one hauling the Pharaoh away.
Nice.
Okay. Livingston.
Um,
The green one is pinned, but you can tell, like, it will take a while for it to unpin itself. But it is, like, for the moment, trapped. There is one on the stage attacking Assault.
right.
And the other is running along the roof.
Right, I shot the one that was attacking her, and I realized that the bullet took, but didn't really phase it. Damn.
But Assault, you were able to use your wind to blow away the ribbon on its face?
No, I tried to use the fire on the one pulling the Pharaoh out.
It didn't succeed?
No.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Right.
Scorched some glass instead.
Yeah.
Alright,
We don't have to pay for the damages here, do we?
Not if you run afterwards.
Yeah.
Always a good policy.
do you have any idea what would...
You're asking me this at the moment?
Yeah, maybe not. Okay. So I'm just going to square up again, but this time maybe like really square up and take careful aim at the head. I'll do that.
Right. Are you aiming for the one that's running along the roof or the one that's on the stage about to attack Assault?
I don't know if you'll allow me to try to shoot the one on the roof. It just says harm close. So that's why I try to get in close because it's the Magnum. It's not like
Not a long-range
rifle
weapon.
or a bow. You know,
Okay.
I get a Beretta, a shotgun, or a revolver. So I took the revolver because it's
That makes sense.
reliable. It's reliable.
Why don't you roll and see how you do? Maybe if you roll like really well.
So maybe this is what I just actually sort of get that. You know, Sergeant Murtaugh, little crack the neck there, leave the
You do
weapon
have
style.
an opportunity on the one. But
I'm not supposed to shoot things.
Oh no!
That's not gonna go.
All right, you fire. It shatters some glass.
Man.
Unfortunately, that gets the Jiangshi moving again. So it is now dashing away, carrying Tutmosis with it.
May I look at the map of London again?
Yeah. I bookmarked it.
Sorry for the wait on that one.
It happens.
It happens.
Let me just give it a quick.
We all have problem performing sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
Not to worry
Are you
about.
You're
My age, it happens quite more regularly, apparently.
Roxanne, is that important for your move, or you want us to come back to you while you're checking things out there?
I was just checking out how close Limehouse is to Whitechapel.
Okay. We can pop back to you if you want to.
She doesn't really, she's not really doing anything. She said she was going to sit this one out, so she's sitting this one out.
All right.
So she's still continuing to do things with Dorian that I don't want to describe on air for fear of mature content warning.
Okay.
Probably the best.
Yeah. What is Captain Diego doing?
Alright,
So
so
pretend it's like in The Sims and they're under a
I
cover. and
wrote
there are
this
little bugs
down,
everywhere.
but I'm not exactly sure how it is. It's running away, but I want to call my ship
Ooh.
the Body of Ghosts, the Sanguine Tide, which is also my link. But there's a specific move with it. I don't know if it involves a supernatural object. Don't know if we can count the Jiangshi as a supernatural object, can we?
We'll keep going. I'll think about it.
And let's see, what created it? I don't know if it actually applies to this, but I want to see if I can call in my ship to like chase down this thing.
Yeah, why don't you give me a let it out?
Right.
So roll a spirit. So I could see a lot of these. How we do there?
5, 11.
Whoa.
I don't get the advanced let it out, but still good roll.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. You don't need corruption if you don't want it. And you can pick one of them. Use a +1. Extend your senses. I mean, you could like see where it's going.
Yeah, because I'm connected to my ship, I can see through it.
Okay.
So I'll extend my senses, supernatural or otherwise, and just close my eyes. And then I'm on the ship with the spyglass, just seeing where it's going.
I am a pirate king. Hurrah, hurrah for the pirate king.
Hey lads, don't you think it's weird when Captain Diego does this?
pretty-
Feels kind of invasive, doesn't it?
It's pretty normal for the captain to use a spyglass, I think.
Alright, so where's it going?
So, it was interesting. It takes the mummy, the edge of the roof, drops down, and there is a carriage waiting with a weird, sallow-faced man who's kind of hunched over, just wearing like kind of some very nondescript cloak over like a shirt, some overalls or suspenders.
Would I know who this guy is?
Probably
Like
not.
last move, can I put a face to a name?
Yeah, you can roll that.
Alright.
It might do something. You could knight because faction.
Knight, gotcha. 10.
Okay. You don't know his name, but I will tell you this about him. He is not Chinese. Which is odd. Because the hopping corpses definitely are Chinese.
So what exactly are they doing with this guy?
Yeah, and the direction the carriage takes off is not to Limehouse. It rumbles off, vanishes into those foggy streets.
Fold that carriage, lads.
So your ship is able to sail after them. Meanwhile, we got two Jiangshi are still in there. One's pinned under a sphinx, but the other one is about to eat Isolde.
Okay.
Strong word.
Yeah.
Look, she's my flatmate, Dorian. I probably should do something about this.
So is it my turn?
He's like, you can be so frightfully boring at times.
This way, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna reach towards it and just try to burst a flame in its face.
All right.
Oh my god! I have not rolled above a 6.
Oh no! Now you have the bad roll first.
I've rolled a 5 again.
Give me
No
a keep your cool.
+1 or anything?
I have a -1 to blood.
What are all your spells blood?
Dude, don't ask me these questions. I don't know.
All attacks, just like attacks.
Yeah.
become-
I have to get a level of corruption to take a move that allows me to use spirit instead of blood.
So you have to
Interesting.
keep taking corruption.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what this game does. It forces you to. You gotta walk that tightrope.
that's an 8.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Okay.
So what's that do? What was that about?
Keep my cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You can decide. So the Jiangshi is going to do some damage. You can decide if it's either to you or to Livingston.
I'll take it.
Ooh, okay. All right, you're going to take...
I have +1 armor at the moment.
Oh, okay, cool. So maybe it's not even that bad. It's going to be a faint harm.
Okay.
It's going to be claw scratches on your side. Or shoulder. Like the Jiangshi just gives you a quick slash. It's got these nasty long fingernails. They cut into you like tiger claws.
Ouch.
And speaking of tiger claws, this is the point where Sergeant Tiger Brown and some constables, heavily armed, they got the message about these Jiangshi come in. Tiger Brown is like a big old elephant gun.
This guy.
Yeah.
Jump out of the way.
Never mind, Dorian. The sort of sneak down the way to the balcony.
And he's like, stand down, chaps. Let's let a professional handle this. And he swings the elephant gun and fires and just like disintegrates the hopping corpse's head.
Good shot.
Well, better than you could do. Now,
Excuse me,
true.
do you see the,
Yes!
the
Here, see the
sphinx
failures.
pinning down?
he just casually like aims his gun at the one that's down and fires the other barrel and blows that one's head off too.
You're welcome.
He's like, you two, where's the dog?
The dog?
No, you don't.
I hear her howling. Anyway,
She's investigating at the moment.
And being investigated.
I don't want to know. Bring her to the
Nor
meeting
do
club
I.
at once.
Okay.
Sir Titus would like a word.
I'm sure he would.
And I will certainly tell him how you failed tonight.
Oh, Titus, old boy. He's a good friend of mine. We'll go see him right away.
No, that works out.
However, there is something good comes out of this. Sting approaches you afterwards and says, Livingston Saeed, I saw you risk everything to defend your friend and to fight for the people here.
As I told you I would.
It is good to know that perhaps there is more to you than I originally thought. It does seem that you want redemption.
Yeah, I suppose time fades quickly, doesn't it not?
So, I am not yet ready to shake your hand, but I'm closer than I was.
Good day, Jack.
Well, so you may be getting there with Sing.
Can I investigate these creatures that attacked us, specifically the paper on their front, and kind of just see
Okay.
what it's all about?
Yeah, I mean, some of the paper was kind of blown apart by the elephant gun.
Yeah,
but
that-
you have a-
Can I help her out?
let's have you roll into hand first, and then we'll see how we do with the. Would this be?
Please. Yeah.
So you get a +1.
Okay.
Would this be? Are you thinking of put a face to a name or something
More
else?
like trying to investigate a place of power. Investigate, I guess.
Yeah,
I
creatures of power. I mean, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what makes these things tick.
right. So you can roll wild then.
And there, I roll really well.
Nice.
I rolled an 11.
That's pretty good. So be sure to mark wild there. Yeah.
And Mark our Dallas.
I can't.
So yeah, I want to know what these creatures' weaknesses are. I have a feeling I'm going to run into them again.
Okay. So you're able to maybe you think back to some of your study of weird magical creatures from far away, and these hopping corpses destroying the special incantations or replacing them with those of your own, certain magical needles, maybe magic in general. And there's various other weird kind of folk remedies that can be used to stop these things.
But it's just paper, right? So it's super flammable?
Yeah, fire, especially magic fire, will do a lot of damage to these. And you could dismember them too, but that's really what it would take. Because unless they're, I mean, the Sphinx pinned it in place and stopped it, but it was still going.
Yeah, it was the gunshot wound that destroyed not necessarily its head, but the paper that was attached to it. That
Yeah,
Killed
stop the
the
magic. Yeah. All right, so
that's something.
you've all been asked to meet Sir Titus too at the Union Club. Are you heading that way? And then what is Roxanne doing as well?
I guess if Dorian is done, then
Yeah, he probably
Guess
you had a good time on the
we're
balcony.
waiting for her to appear.
You think she just like sort of emerges and is kind of like adjusting her.
Where were you?
Do you really want to know?
We could have died tonight! And you were off getting whatever. I thought we were friends. Honestly, I thought we were friends, and the moment I'm expecting you to come help me, thankfully I had at least Professor Livingstone here and Diego of all things helping me. What is wrong with you?
I could see everything that
And I
was
walk away.
happening.
I walk out of the building. I'm done.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm good.
He's offering you some
Thank you.
some hashish to
Thank
calm
you.
your nerves. Ooh.
I'm gonna move in front of you.
Get out of my way.
I don't get out of anybody's way if I don't feel like it. Now look, I was looking...
I teleport up behind her and keep on walking.
All right. So where are you headed?
I have no idea.
All right.
My character is storming off without any particular direction in mind.
I don't suppose that you want to know the information that I've been gathering and that I had to sit out of a fight to get? No?
I've already left the building.
Lass,
Ooh.
I don't think she really wants to talk to you at the moment.
Oh, really? That's quite perceptive of you.
Well, I need some time to cool off.
I mean, trying to force a conversation at this point is not the best move, if you ask me. Trust me, I've been around for a while. Let it cool down, and then maybe you can have a moment later on. But for now, let it go.
Well, I had every intention of intervening, except that Tiger showed up anyway, so what was the point?
I'll let you sort it all out. And I floated away. Float away.
Spoken quite well, Captain.
So, are you two or are you three heading to the Nemean Club?
Yeah, I'm heading to the Nemean Club. Are you
Yeah.
heading to the Nemean Club?
We're gonna head out.
I don't know yet.
Or are you just out
We're gonna
having
keep a lookout, see if we can find her on our
I probably headed to my sanctuary.
on our way. But,
Okay. I mean, you can always teleport in or just arrive a little bit later in the conversation. Or you'll find out what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, in the Nemean Club, we'll cut ahead to that smoking room where we started our game, where Sir Titus II, seated in his wonderful high-backed red velvet chair, working on a phenomenal pipe, is kind of listened to your for your debriefing. So he's probably heard what you mentioned.
Yeah, the thing that I brought up is that an ancient vampire was there named Dracula who asked
Count
me
Dracula.
Count Dracula asked her to sit out the fight. So she
Ooh.
did, because it's best to try to get in good with him, and violating his trust immediately probably wouldn't have been smart. That most likely Boss Autumn and the Dragon Tongue are the ones responsible for the theft of the mummy.
Okay.
But if Dracula's involved, he might have just hired them to steal that, and so that he could have plausible deniability.
Well, Tiger Brown, something tells me you can guess who he thinks is involved. But you think who he thinks the culprit is.
Can I give them a
Who does he
description?
think the culprit is? Jack the Ripper or me?
Tiger Brown, he's like, it's the. I mean, I don't want to use some racially tinned language, but he'd be like, it's them dirty foreigners in Limehouse, sir. Should never let them into our country.
Well, I have no doubt.
Stealing our mummies. Ugh.
I've no doubt that the people from Limehouse are involved, but I don't think that they stole it for themselves. I think they stole it from a completely different foreigner. And if you must be prejudiced against somebody, I suggest being prejudiced against Eastern Europeans. Surely you could make some sort of pithy comment about goulash.
Give me some good old porridge. That's what I say. He's like, and you know who Boss Autumn runs with? It's that Irishman, Skin the Goat Gulliver. Well, yeah, that's right. Boss Autumn's with the Tuatha. All those freaks and monsters clinging together, threatening England. This has their fingerprints all over it.
Now, Skin the Goat is a very, very good... I just remembered that I'm supposed to be doing this with growling.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Skin the Goat.
still
We all imagined it.
Skin the Goat is a very good friend of mine. I doubt that he's doing anything of...
Sir Titus is listening to all this. I think you got to give a persuade to kind of convince him.
Sure.
Because, I mean, he's super racist, too.
My heart
Being an
is-
old-timey English gentleman.
Heart is so good, and I would love if I had some way of just rolling with mortality, but I don't.
Livingston. Well, let's say you roll, and
Yeah, go ahead.
Livingston wants to add something.
Oh,
No, go first.
I could help Livingston if Livingston wants to do the persuading instead.
Is that what you were thinking of, or?
I was gonna, if she couldn't get it, I was gonna sort of offer up a little, since he's smoking a pipe, sort of my own sort of little thing, and see if I could do it. Yeah.
Sales pitch.
Okay,
Right.
so I'll roll.
pitches.
I'll
Okay.
use mine as an assist for him.
Yeah, that's fine. So why don't you roll the assist,
You're
and
welcome.
then Livingston, what do you say to
Yeah.
try and sway Sir Titus here?
You're welcome. That's an 11.
Cool.
Also, I leveled up again.
Nice.
I've got a 1 on mortality.
All right, so Livingston, remember to add a +1. But what do you say?
Well, see here, old boy, I noticed you're smoking some fine stuff, but how about some Belgravian red to cheer up the mood a bit?
Sir Titus is like, well, I could certainly do with it.
We just came back from there, you see. It's quite fresh and delicious. So I pack him up a pipe and say, now, we all know that your ears around town are, always catching the greatest of news. We're out there trying to do the good work. Perhaps you could lend us some information that would really help us out. Not get your fingers dirty, perhaps. Us
Okay.
be the ones.
So are you rolling to persuade Sir Titus to, believe that Boss Autumn wasn't responsible, or what move do you think you would do here? So I can see this be a persuade, or are you trying to figure someone out? Like you want to ask some help from him, or
It's kind of like I'm trying to get some more help since we just went there for him and the Ordo Sanguis.
yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of like,
give you persuade. He might tell you some more stuff with the +1.
Yes, so that is heart.
Yes.
7.
Well,
Welcome.
that's with the +1.
Dude, man,
Yes,
what
so
are
that-
rolls tonight?
Yeah.
He's like,
See, that we both got something out of it. I leveled up, and you didn't
Yeah.
fail.
he says,
I think you came on top.
I almost increased blood, and then I'm like, she didn't fight it all, so I increased spirit.
he's like, there is indeed something that could be done. Perhaps you and your friends may be suited to. You see, Tutmosis X, from my understanding, Professor Crumbles sent a little telegram over that sort of explained. He was instrumental in necromantic magic.
Oh,
Yes.
devilish stuff.
Oh, yes.
Ghoulish, one might say.
And
Did he die in this whole thing?
the mummy?
No, Crumb.
That's fine.
Oh, Crumbles, he took a little fall, but he'll be all right.
I protected them with a smile.
Yeah, he got some armor. He just took a little plop off the stage. His blubbery plump, his plump body protected him. That's not true. Fat cannot stop you from taking damage. Anyway,
Scratches and bruises.
It
yeah.
does not work that way.
Nope.
No.
If only we just bounce
baptism.
around like Bubble Boy.
In fact, it might be worse.
Sir Titus says, there is a particularly English school of magic that is very reminiscent of that which Tutmosis X practiced. And if Tutmosis has been taken, I fear this other sorcerer may be next. It's most terrible because he is of tender years. I speak, of course, of the young Lord Wilkie Wallace Wintersmith. He is a lad of but 8 years, currently orphaned and the owner of the title after both of his parents were killed in a seance gone horribly wrong. And he is currently enrolled at the Bludgeon Hall Academy for young ladies and gentlemen here in London. And I fear the safety of Bludgeon Hall may soon be invaded. Now, we must, as always, preserve appearances. So, I will ask this of you two and perhaps pose the question to your American friend as well. Are you ready to go to boarding school?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's been quite a little while since I've been
Yes.
to my alma mater.
Boarding school.
Ooh. So you went to Bludgeon Hall?
Presuming
would-
it's
yeah,
like
that would make sense.
both men and women.
Yes.
So it's a co-ed.
I'm bringing out the big guns for next episode then.
So it's
Yeah, Professor.
Bludgeon Hall.
What's that?
Going
Bludgeon
back to
Hall?
school.
Bludgeon Hall Academy.
You would.
And
Not
Diego,
going,
you're
not
listening,
going.
and you're listening in there too.
I don't even know.
Make sure I
if I'm-
reload.
No. I'm actually decided I'm not there. I'm
Okay.
not there at all. I'm actually following Isolde.
Oh, okay.
Was Zolt going to her little sad hidey hole?
Yeah, I did.
Would you like to talk to her real quick?
You can't get in.
Oh no! All right. Well, that's fair.
I mean,
All right. Well,
Unless you tried to sneak in.
I think we'll go ahead and kind of cut there
Yeah.
because
We'll start.
next time all you guys are going to have to infiltrate a hoity-toity upper-class boarding school.
I don't know how we'll ever do it.
Yes, exactly. I'm not thinking you guys are going to get your Harry Potter on to be teachers, but I mean, be students. But you can get your, Snapes and McGonagalls on and whatever, and be teachers or something.
Gilderoy
Or like-
Lockhart's.
Yeah, or like the ghost, or the weird American janitor. They only hire Americans
I can't
for-
wait to show you all my night chambers. They
Yeah.
are horrible.
Yeah, Bludgeon Hall is pretty a horrible place. And that will all be our next episode entitled Such Were the Joys.
Such were the joys.
Yes.
Such were the joys.
So, before we have fun time in boarding school, let's do our closing session moves.
Look, there's no way that you have a kid that turns into a wolf monster every night and don't have like a special room prepared for that.
It's true. That's very true.
It's like, well, what are you going to do? She's a lady. What's no worse than being a hemophiliac, I'm sure.
Are those silver bars?
In your dormitory.
It sucks to them, that doesn't even work on me.
Oh no. Let's start
Then it's just
with
heavy iron bars.
let's start with the
Those work,
assaults.
because I can't get out.
So, do you want to? So, is there any faction you learn more about, or you feel like you have a better relationship with, and you like to up their score while lowering another score?
You gonna lower night because you're mad at me?
No, I mean, not really.
Yeah, she has reason to be, but
What I've
I
known...
was asked to sit the fight out.
I don't... My character doesn't know that.
Well, you didn't listen.
I was upset.
It was good RP.
fair, it's a fair point.
It was
It
good.
was
Um,
good RP.
What I've known that these
It's the
hopping
only thing
corpses
she likes
were...
doing better than fighting, okay?
what I've known that they're part of the wild faction.
That's agreeable, like in real.
what's that?
These hopping corpses, what I've known they come from the wild faction.
I think
Take
so.
one
I
over
think
the
they
other.
talked about they come from Limehouse. They're from Boss Autumn, and he's in the Chihuahua.
That's probably what my drop is for wild. Even if they're hired goons, I trust them less, and I'm more considerate of Power, who just got robbed and needs really to have support in close ranks at this particular moment.
Okay. And is there any character you think owes you a debt, or you owe another character a debt?
I think I probably owe Piers Livingston a debt. I think he at least she feels that he came to her aid when no one else did.
Yeah, Livingston would
Not
work
not
really,
you. I'm looking more in Cat's characters. Right?
Yeah,
Not Cat.
I would say Livingston worked really hard to protect you, so I can see that.
Besides, we still don't trust each other.
I owe you
much.
3 debts now, by the way.
Ooh.
By the way, you're welcome. Because of my disgusting sexual activities, he had to go away and help you.
Again, I don't know that.
So really, I'm the one you should be thanking.
So really,
No,
Yeah.
she does not believe that.
How about Livingston?
Well, Livingston appreciates Night because Dorian taught him some things. He didn't walk away completely from that.
well, that means you appreciate night and power. Victoria's power.
Is he Power? Okay,
He
sorry.
is.
So then I'd be appreciated.
Straight up Power.
No, I was going to say because of what happened though
Yeah, it's Power
in this place of Power, I'm going to be against them. Just because this event happened at one of their places.
Yeah, kind of left a raw taste in your mouth.
Right.
Related to top.
No,
So
that's a raw ticket.
only because of that, that's going to go.
Crazy. I mean, they did bring a super dangerous mummy
Yeah.
into England and lose it.
I mean, they
Crazy.
didn't think they were going to
Crazy.
lose it.
And then
Misplaced mummy.
because
Stolen.
Singh didn't beat me up on premises, and because Tiger actually came through and killed those things, I'm gonna give mortality another 1.
Because we couldn't.
Yeah, because we couldn't.
How about
Deus Ex
Roxanne?
Machina.
I might
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
I might
let
owe
me see.
Tiger. I might owe Tiger because he came through and really
He did.
blasted
You can
those
owe him a
things.
debt.
Yeah, that's what I can see. I might owe.
All right. Are there any characters you think you would, or players you think you would owe, or think they owe you?
No,
Probably
because
not.
I tried.
Yeah.
I gave you the tea.
At least I got some holds for you tonight. At least I had that.
I appreciate what you did, even
Yeah.
if we failed completely
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
How
I
about
didn't feel alone and die.
never? How about Roxanne?
I don't see. It's like if I could raise power without lowering something else, I would, but I have to lower something else, and I don't see her going lower in Mortality, Night, or Wild. So,
All right.
'cause-
Well, it's okay if it is where it is.
yeah, so power has to stay at -1 because she likes Dorian, but she really, and she likes Isolde, but she doesn't really get what they're doing.
Do you
I
think
mean-
do you feel you owe any characters here, or like?
I
NPCs?
feel like Dracula owes me a debt for not getting involved in that fight.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So, and I feel like I owe Isolde a debt for not getting involved in that fight.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So you can write down I'll write down that Dracula owes you.
Yeah.
Always good to have Dracula in your debt.
Yeah.
Do you want? You can write down that I owe you. I guess that's probably easier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then how about Captain Diego?
I'm not too sure about this. If anything, I would raise Knight, but I don't know if I have anything to lower. Except Wild, because I noticed that they were part from the Tuatha.
Yeah, they're from Boss Autumn, or they're from Limehouse at least.
Good point. Would I know they were wild? Those creatures, or would I just think that like power had something to do with it? Because he's the one that got the identification on those.
I
Things.
don't know if you shared that. You shared the information. I think it all depends if.
Depends
Diego
if anyone
chose to-
asks me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep it the way it is then.
Okay.
I'll just blame power. Not really.
Yeah.
I'll just do it.
So a lower Wild, because I don't know what the heck's going on, and I feel slightly betrayed after, all the things with Dr. Jackal helping us out. And I'll
Yeah,
raise
now
Knight,
he's-
because Dracula's talking a good game. And I like what I'm hearing. Never liked this Ordo Sanguis in the first place.
Interesting.
See,
So-
that's why I couldn't justify lowering Knight because I'm like creeping in with Dracula too.
Yeah.
If there were two Knight factions, that might make a bit of sense.
Maybe.
Right? I mean, does it
there
count?
sort of are. Dracula kind of is, yeah, but like,
Like, if I'm weaseling in with the Knight faction that isn't my Knight faction, does that mean my standing with the Knight faction in England I've actually gone down?
I think the game doesn't really support that because like we can't have
Yeah,
like
it doesn't. So
you can't draw a little box next to it and be like Dracula. If only the Drac faction.
yeah, I'm just trying to
Draction.
justify having a -1 in power, which seems ridiculously low.
Well, the Draction, along with so many other great stuff, including a horrific boarding school, and all these great characters, will come back same time next week.
Next week, we're going full bore on this. This is amazing. So,
Watch as the flatmates let each other pass aggressive notes.
Oh man,
No, she
our supernatural
Apparently,
roommates.
werewolves can't help in a fight or do the dishes.
I'm not that petty. Oh, am I?
She seems that petty.
well, I was like, but incorporeal. I was like, he can't do dishes either. He can't even.
Trail to her.
You can't even grab the dishes.
To her.
It all goes.
But
Right?
it's like you can choose to just be like, oh, I'm
Enough for you to
incorporeal,
achieve
I can't
climax.
do the dishes.
It was like I can't do them. I'm sorry. I would still help out with the chores, but
Yeah. Oh, another ghost left those nasty notes on the wall. Wasn't me. Was another ghost in it.
oh, it's so good. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Make sure and check out our the 20% off for Urban Shadows, magpiegames.com/shop. Also, there's some links in there about to get, even if you just need the PDF version because you want to go digital. So make sure and check that out. I'm going to be buying mine. I haven't bought mine yet. I know that's so bad. But I think maybe by next week or the week after, I think I'll have my Generation Shadow shirt. So make sure and check those out. Just support the show. Just watch, lurk, enjoy. have fun. And until next week, you got to make sure and pull up a chair and make time to tabletop. All right, guys.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Sweet as